Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome and thanks for joining today's live. Um, Hi. Hello, Saurabh. It's been a while again. It's been a while again since I've done a live, and um, again back to the whole routine, back to just sitting in front of the camera and talking to all of you about some specific topics. Um, I have your name highlight in my ID. Okay, I will check that out. Hi Vimla. Hi Arun. So yeah, as you may already know by now, I started college last week, and I can't believe that almost 2 weeks of college are complete now, which is very surprising. I think time just flew by, and 2 weeks are done, which means like we're already rushing through everything, rushing through the semester. And yeah, but I miss these lives, so I'm doing another one today. And this was a topic requested by Saurabh. This was actually mentioned in the comment of one of my reels that I should make a reel on this topic. And I thought instead of that, I would make a live on this topic. And drum roll for today's topic. Today's topic is accountability for freelancers. So today is all about being accountable as a freelancer, what it means to be accountable, and how you can be accountable. So the plan for the session is, especially if you're new here, hi everyone. A lot of new people joined my page in the last few days. So hi everyone. I will be conducting a 10 to 15 minute session. So I will just kind of talk about the topic. And then after that, you can ask me all your questions. You can keep commenting your questions, keep adding them in the questions tab, and I will answer them after a 10-minute session. So today's topic is accountability for freelancers. And I have a few things in mind that I want to share with you. So first, I'll tell you what is accountability. Second, I'll tell you why you should be accountable. Third, I will tell you the different types of accountability you should have. So there are 3 types that I will be talking about. And then finally, fourth, I will tell you how to be accountable. So this is the plan for today's session. And then after that, I will conduct a Q&A and I will answer all your questions. So let's begin. So the first thing is, what is accountability? And I'll put it very simply. Accountability is to take responsibility for the task and for the result. So if you are an accountable person, you're basically saying that you are willing to take the responsibility for a certain thing that you are working on, or a certain thing that you are doing for someone else. And this is super important for freelancers, which brings me to the second point as to why should you be accountable. Because first of all, being accountable in general is a power move. I think if you can take responsibility, if you can be accountable for something, then it shows that you are a leader, that you are willing to be the one who just kind of takes everything and is responsible for everything and can make things easier for whoever you're working with. So especially if you're a freelancer and you're working with your client and the client sees you as somebody who's accountable, then it just instantly builds a lot of trust. It builds a lot of faith in the work you do. It builds a lot of interest in working with you, because it shows that you are willing to take that responsibility. You are willing to be in that position where if anything goes wrong, you are going to be the one who's going to strive towards making it right. So this is of course a very appreciated quality by anybody you're working with, especially clients, because of course they're paying you. They want good results from you. They want things to work. So if you can show that you are accountable, and if you can be accountable, then I think that you've just won the client over. You've won anyone that you're working with. You've just won them over instantly. So that's how that's why you should be accountable. Now I want to tell you 3 things that you should be accountable towards, and in that I will also tell you a little bit of why. Okay, so the first person that you should be accountable towards is very simply yourself. You should be accountable towards anything you take up. If you decide to be a freelancer, if you just started out freelancing, then you are accountable for how that works out for you, how much effort you put into it, how committed you are to it, all of these things. You are accountable for that. You are accountable for the kind of work you take up. You are accountable for whether the work you take up is something that you are suited to do or not, something you're comfortable doing or not. If you are a freelancer, you're also very likely on social media. So in that sense, you are definitely accountable for what you put on there. It's the kind of presence you have, the kind of content you share, the kind of comments or the way you respond to people, the way you talk, the kind of words you use. You are accountable for every single thing that you do when it comes to social media. Same thing applies for work, same thing applies for content creation. You are accountable that anything you work on, anything you create is original, is creative, is something that something that you are proud of, something that you are comfortable giving to the other person. So you have to be accountable towards yourself in terms of course, your commitment to freelancing, but also any kind of work you take up. And just be prepared to you have to kind of make yourself the reason as to why you're getting results. So be accountable for your own results and your own success. That's the first thing, that you have to be accountable towards yourself. Second thing is, you have to be accountable, or you should be accountable to your family, because I think a lot of us are blessed with a very supportive family. Mostly parents who kind of support us with any decision we make, parents who maybe even try or struggle but still try to understand what freelancers do, and try to support as much as they can. So in that sense, you are accountable to your family, and if you're a freelancer, you are accountable to put in your best work and make sure that you are still able to support your family, you're still able to provide for your family. So in that sense, it is you're accountable for that. You are also accountable to their expectations. So if they expect something from you, then yes, you are accountable to making it happen and making it real for them. So that's the persons you should be accountable to, and that's your family. And the third person you should be accountable to is anybody you're working with, and this could be your clients, and this could also be your team. So if you have clients, you have a team, you have anyone else that you're working with, you are accountable and you should be accountable towards them. Now, in terms of client, I would say that the main thing where your accountability is actually tested is when things go wrong. So you're working with a client, you're working on, say, articles or whatever, and something goes wrong. And in that moment, when the client says that, hey, this is wrong, or hey, this did not go as per the plan, what happened here? In that moment, how you choose to react, how you choose to behave, how you choose to respond, all of that is going to show how accountable you are and how accountable you want to be. So of course, when something goes wrong is a very testing time for such things. And if at that point you can stop and you can say that, okay, I'm responsible for this, I'm going to go and take care of it. Same thing happens when you're working with a team. If you have a team, of course, they are responsible individually for whatever task they do. But as a person who's probably the leader, I would say, and as the person who's directly engaging with the client, as the person whose team it is, you are responsible for every single person in your team. You're responsible for the output that every single teammate gives. So again, if a client finds out that something has gone wrong, then you should be accountable and you should take up the responsibility of fixing that thing. And how you fix it is up to you. How you deal with your teammates, up to you. But just having that sort of sense to take responsibility rather than leaving it up to your teammate and putting them up for battle, I think that's another way to be responsible, be accountable. So your behavior definitely matters, and this brings me to point 4, that how do you be accountable? So in terms of being accountable, see, there are a lot of things that you can be accountable for, but there are a very few basic things that would help you be that way. The first thing is, I would say the first baseline thing is that whatever happens, try not to get defensive. And I'm saying this because this has happened to me in the past, and this is exactly what kind of draws the line whether you are being accountable or not. So if something goes wrong, or even when something goes right, do not try to be defensive about why certain things went a certain way, right? Instead, accept what happened, deal with it, solve the issue, and move on from it. So this really, actually this really helps you just keep things okay between yourself and your client. It helps you keep things okay between yourself and your team members, yourself and your family, and just with yourself. You just don't, you feel more comfortable and more proud of yourself when you just kind of take things as they are. Do not react to them, do not get defensive about them, and just deal with them as in how they happen. And certain things to be accountable, I think, again, a lot has to do with discipline. As disciplined as you are, as focused as you are, as committed as you are, that really defines, and that really leads up to the results that you will get. So the more committed you are to something, the chances are that things will actually work out for you, that you will get good results, and then in that sense your accountability so far has been a success. So as much as possible, try to set a routine for certain things. Try to be disciplined towards certain things. Be responsible. Be aware of how you how you kind of react to certain things. If certain things trigger you, if certain things really take you off guard, then you have to be self-aware as to what you can deal with and what you cannot. And in this, again, one more important thing would be that when it comes to being accountable, the power of saying no is just very supreme. So if you think, like, once you have the self-awareness that, okay, this is something I can do, this is something I cannot do, and if you are in that place where you know you cannot do something, you should say no. And in a way, that is also being accountable. Saying no is also being accountable, because then you are defining what you are accountable for, and you're saying what you're not accountable for. So take no as a way, again, of kind of defining your accountability and making things work in your favor. So that's all. That's all about accountability, and I will answer your questions now. But yeah, that's all there is to being accountable. It has a lot to do with just, having a routine, having that discipline, being committed to the task, and always focusing as much as possible on getting the best possible results. And as long as you are moving towards that, as long as you're moving towards that, high success rate, good results, good outcome, all of those things that they really, prove helpful. So I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you find out why you should be accountable as a freelancer. Mainly, yes, it does help you build good relationships with your client and maintain the quality of work as well. It helps you put on your best face and your best work for yourself and your clients and your teammates. And it makes things easier for everyone around you. It shows that you are a true leader and you are someone that people really want to work with. So yeah, so that's what it is, and I will now answer your questions. So you can ask your questions in the comment section or in the questions tab. Please try to keep these questions about about today's topic, that is about accountability, and any other questions you can just DM me. So okay. How can you find clients on LinkedIn? I have an Instagram IGTV live about that. You can go check it out. Okay. Bloom Space said that this happened with me today. I would like to know what happened. And then taught, I am only getting to learn more, so let's not blame anyone would work. Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of times I think when something goes wrong, it's of course it hurts, it kind of stops you for a minute, it makes you want to react. But if you can control it, and if you can just see it as a way of a lesson learned and move on from it. That's a really good way of being accountable, but also just dealing with it better. Okay, commitment and charges. I have lives on them. You can check those out. Totally agree to your point of being accountable and reacting mindfully to every situation. Amazingly explained. Thanks, Shreya. Thank you so much, J123B123. Thank you so much. That's some amazing advice. Thank you. Abhi said, hi, Shreya. Thanks for the live. You said you are accountable to society, parents, clients, as well as co-workers. But if it will stop me to write the fact, what I can do, like what and how they like. Okay, I think your question is incomplete, so I'll answer it once you send the whole thing. I want to be a food writer, but I don't know how to begin. Jasmine, please message me for that. Nice hoodie. Thank you. It's a new hoodie. Thank you so much. Somebody noticed it. Okay. Glad to see you live. All good. How to deal with people who don't take responsibility? This is a good question. Speak W Sim. I'm gonna pin this comment. How to deal with people who don't take responsibility? This is a very good question. I think this is especially challenging when you work with certain people constantly, regularly, when it's not a one-time thing, but you know you're going to be around certain people, and then you just realize, wait, they're not taking responsibility. So what's going to happen now? Like, how do I deal with this person? How do I continue working with this person? So there are two broad things here. First, you have, I would say, clients who do not take responsibility. And for them, it's fine. I think I just kind of let it slide and I let it go because, well, I'm working with them. They are paying me, and relationships do matter. So in that sense, yes, I do tend to try to avoid, getting into that issue. But of course, if there is something absolutely wrong, I just send them, like a previous email or a previous message or a previous document that just kind of shows that, I had done the task a certain way and it is not my responsibility. So just showing that it's not my responsibility, rather than, again, you're not blaming someone, you're not holding someone else responsible, you're just saying that it's not your responsibility. The second kind of people would be your teammates, and it can get challenging when your teammate does not take responsibility. This happened just a few days ago. Something went wrong with a client, and again, it was ultimately I'm the one responsible when it comes to answering to the client. I'm the one who's answerable. But of course, and then when it comes to me and my team, I go and tell my teammate that, hey, you did something wrong. And then the kind of reasoning I get, the kind of excuses I get, they really put me off. But as long as they realize they made a mistake and they say that, okay, I'm sorry and I will be more careful next time, then it's fine. So I think you have to be very headstrong and you have to be really detached from certain emotional aspects of people not taking responsibility. And as long as you can keep those things away, I think it makes it easier for you to work with certain kind of people. And that's how I deal with them. Good question. Very good question. You said you have to be accountable in saying no. How to do it? Yes, Mahesh. So there is a certain sort of accountability that comes. So when you are approached by someone asks you, can you do a certain task? And you say yes, then you have instantly taken that responsibility. Even without, even if you have never done the task before, even if you have never, been around that kind of thing, even if you have no idea about how it works, and you take the responsibility, and it may work out fine. Yes, it may just happen. Everything might just go very smooth and it may be completely fine. That happens, of course. But if things do not go fine, which is probably more likely, again, things don't have to go wrong. They could be challenging. They could be more difficult. They could be more emotionally and mentally draining. And in that sense, it's not good for anyone, especially yourself. And as I said, the first priority that you are accountable for is you are accountable towards yourself. So prioritize that. And when you say no, you kind of get rid of all these unnecessary accountable things that you should be accountable for, right? So you can say goodbye to those things by just coming up and saying a simple no when you know you cannot take accountability for something. That's it. And of course, you are accountable for that. You are accountable about saying no. If you said yes, then you made the mistake of saying yes. So then you are accountable for not saying no. And that's what I meant by you have to be accountable towards your responses of yes and no. Are you writing any book? Yes, I am. It's been too long. I am. Yes. And I have already written a book, by the way. I have already written an ebook, #anthology. The link is in the bio. You can check it out there. And if you have any trouble getting ordering it, just let me know. Okay. Okay, leads and writing and content and habit. Okay, all of these things are not really for today. Abhi is saying, Shreya, like what might parent society, how they will react, and this fear stops me to write. So what can I do in this situation? Look for accountability or write the fact? I don't really understand your question, Abhi. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. So I'll skip that for now and you can DM me about it. Tell me that I'm awesome. Thanks. Okay. How to raise funding for a startup? Mindset of newbies. I have an entire live about the right mindset for freelancer. Go check it out. It's very much in the bottom of my IGTV. Okay, Vishwas also has a good follow-up question that I said about saying no, and then he said you can say yes to an opportunity and then you can learn how to do it later on. I think this is a quote by Richard Branson, that, you know, if you don't know how to do something, you just say yes and then you figure it out later. And I do agree with that. I definitely agree with that quote. And I mentioned this, I spoke of this concept even in my learning and execution live, where I talked about if you don't know something, you can still say yes and take it up and figure it out. But the thing is that certain things, of course, if you don't know something, you can learn. But there are certain things that you just absolutely should not, it's just unnecessary to have certain things on to be accountable for. Okay. So certain things, if you say no and if you're not accountable for, they will actually give you much more benefits in the long run. And I think sometimes you need that yes, sometimes you need to say yes to certain things, make those mistakes, and then realize that, okay, next time this happens, I'm going to say no because it's just not worth it at all. And I think I have faced this recently with one of my clients where I said yes to something. I thought I could do it. I still managed to pull it off, but it wasn't something that, it stressed me out a lot, and it wasn't something that I was willing to invest so much mental energy and time and effort and hard work into. So next time I'm going to say no, and I'm not going to be accountable for certain things. And I hope that kind of explains what I meant. Okay. Yeah, I'm a beginner, and how can we take full advantage of college? What is your opinion about accountability for ourselves in content writing? Rishika, this is again a good question. And I think when I talked about accountability for your content, for your work, I would say the same thing for this, that you are accountable for the kind of course, the kind of quality you deliver, the kind of work you do. All of these things really matter. And then again, in accountability, you are definitely accountable for the originality of the content. And as I say this because just yesterday I put out a story explaining about plagiarism and how to give proper credits, and you are accountable for that. You are accountable for the way you give credits and how you create your content, and you're accountable for any way you present yourself online. So if content writing is your way, like you post on LinkedIn, maybe you post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, your tone, your words, your voice, all of these things really, really matter, and you are accountable for all those elements of your writing. So that's some ways about being accountable for it. Okay. Himanshu said, I failed to meet my client's deadline twice. Can you suggest something so that I can rebuild trust? This is a very sketchy, like it's a very difficult situation because it completely depends on exactly what you've done. And if you inform the client that you need an extension, maybe that person could be more lenient with you. I don't think this has a lot to do with accountability right now. I mean, if you've said that, okay, it's on me, fine, that's fine. But this has a lot to do with, as you said, building trust, and rebuilding trust is just a matter of time. So what you could do is you could offer another, say, article for a discount or for free, and say that you will submit it by this date and then meet that deadline. So it's a way of kind of winning back the trust, by offering an extra service, of course, for a reduced price or for free, in exchange for getting another chance to actually prove yourself. And I think that should help. I think, yeah, I would say there that try not to like justify yourself. Try to take that accountability that yes, you did not meet the deadline. So just don't try to say no or something. Okay. So many questions. How to build a Khushi, you keep asking me about consistent writing habit, but it's not something for today's life. Some people are asking about college, again, not for today's life. So today's life is only about accountability, and I think I am also done with today's life. See, there are certain things I would say, like, like I think Khushi has asked it again, so I'm going to tell you that how to build a consistent writing habit. Um, it's just about setting time aside every single day and sitting and writing in that time. So every single day, just like like I have my college lectures from 1 to 2, and then I have my work from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., whatever. So I have a fixed routine, and it should be the same way for writing as well. It should be this exact same thing. Just because writing does not involve someone else, but it does require self-discipline, which means it should be in your calendar. So just if you really want to be consistent with writing, every single day just mark it in your calendar, 1 to 2 p.m. I'm going to write, and give yourself that space to write, and that's it. And then actually once you start writing for like 10-15 minutes, you will just start getting in the zone, and you will end up spending hours if possible, if you have that time to write. So go ahead and do that. Maheen is saying, answer me too, please. Okay. Maheen, where is your question? I am planning to start my own mental health blog. Is there any piece of advice you'd like to give me? I'm going to tell you to start, because there's no advice I can give you, and there's no advice you should want before starting. You're planning, stop planning and just start doing. That's my advice, if that's any advice at all. Okay. Abhi is asking, hi, suppose if I say yes to client for content and write as per their instructions, and later they amend my content and use that, so what will I do in that situation? Are clients not accountable to us? See, when it comes to creating content, of course, it's your job to create good content, but you are creating it for the client. So if they make a few edits here and there, if they change certain things about it, it's fine. You are accountable for creating content to your client's satisfaction. That is the point of you being a writer for them. So you are accountable for creating content, and once you've given it, your task is done, of course, if they are happy. But if they make changes, then they are accountable to themselves to create content that they find good, right? They are also accountable to themselves to put out the best content that they can. So in that sense, they have the space to edit or make amends as required. So your task is over once they accept the content, and if they make certain edits, it's just how things are. And whether they make the edits yourself, or whether they tell you to make the edits, I don't think there's much of a difference there. I have started, but what is opportunity abroad in digital marketing? I think it's the same as anywhere. I mean, honestly, digital marketing is a global thing, so I don't see any. Um, I don't see any like reason to compare between abroad and Indian or whatever. Everything's online these days. I think that's enough reason to say that people do require it. That's it, I guess. So I have answered. I've taken a detour because today's topic was about accountability. I think a lot of you are being very smart and you're just throwing in the word accountable with other questions, which is a good way of asking, but I see through you. I believe a culture of accountability is necessary for good teamwork. Any tips on how to nurture it on a personal and team level? On a personal level, the only way to be accountable is to, as much as possible, create a strict routine for yourself. Just be in that discipline of doing certain things at fixed times or doing them before you go to bed every night. So for me, I'm accountable for getting my things done, for working like say 8 hours a day and making sure that I use those 8 hours to get my things done. I'm accountable for submitting my college assignments on time. I'm accountable for eating enough meals in a day, and I'm accountable for going to the gym. So those are a few things, and those are things that basically they have slots on my calendar because I'm not going to move away from them. If I want to end up being stress free, and if I want to get them done the right way, then I do need to set some discipline for that. So that's personal accountability. And in terms of team, being accountable for your team or nurturing that accountability in your team, it really comes from how accountable you are as a leader. I would say that most of my team is remote. Most of the people that I work with are people who don't really end up doing something that makes me want to say anything or hold them responsible for something. But if I'm in that position again and again with someone who does not seem to do things right or does not seem to take accountability, I'm open to not having them on my team anymore. That's completely fine. Same goes with clients too at a certain level. But most importantly, I think the best way to nurture that accountability is to be accountable yourself and take that responsibility anytime they do things wrong as well, because it just shows how important it is to be accountable for something. Shreya, if they amend it and will change the entire perspective of the content, how can I be satisfied? Again, it's not about your satisfaction, Abhi, because when you're creating content for someone else, it is not about you, it is about them. And you, again, as I said, you are accountable for creating content to the client's satisfaction. And that is exactly why there is no standard of when you say quality content, because everyone has their own way of what they find quality and what they find valuable. So you can't really do anything there. If the client wants it a certain way, and they have the complete rights to do it a certain way, and the only way to not react to them is to just be emotionally strong, I guess, and realize that this is not about you, and don't take it personally, because it's not about your writing style or anything. It's just they want it a certain way. That's it. Pratifit. I don't see. Can you answer my question? I don't want to offend them, but want to state my boundaries. I don't see your question. Please DM me. Anybody who asked question again out of this, please DM me. Okay. So many questions. Okay. To hold others in the team get their commitment, you also stick to your commitment. True. Okay. Please, okay, there are no more relevant questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you that if you have any other questions, please message me on Instagram. Just DM me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And I will be back for another live. I'll do this live on Thursday, 110%. I will have a live on Thursday. How to find your passion. Anish, as I said, today's live is about being accountable, not about anything else. But because you've asked, I'm going to answer how to find your passion. The best way to find your passion is to try different things. Think about what you like most, what you can commit yourself to most, what you are okay failing in, what you're okay failing in, because even if you fail, you're still going to love it and you're still going to get up and make it work for you, still going to chase that success in that field. That's your passion. That's it. And with this, I am going to stop the live, and I'm going to answer any questions you have on DM. Please DM me. That's all for today. I'll do another live on Saturday. And if you have any suggestions for Saturday's topics, then please send those on to me and I will consider those for Saturday's live. So thank you so much for joining today's live. That was a lot of fun after a long time. DM me any other questions you have, and yeah, have a great weekend. So see you soon. Bye everyone.